Okay, it's 10 till 5 in the morning, day 51 on Pacific Crest Trail. We are headed out 17 miles to Kennedy Meadows for a resupply, maybe an overnight. Last night was warmer than it has been, which is to say probably mid-30s, which is nice. And got up about 3:30, made myself some coffee, had breakfast, packed everything up. And now we're on our way. Once I get a resupply, then it should be 74 miles or something like that to Christie. So 3 days, 3 and a bit. And everything is going according to plan. It's very peaceful and quiet. And you can see the rosy sunrise over there through the trees. Beautiful. So the first part of this morning section is gradual downhill, which is fine. We do have a climb in today's 17 miles that is up around 10,800, 10,900 feet. So we'll get back up to altitude and then drop back down a little bit to the highway where we can get into Kennedy Meadows. The mosquitoes here have been impressive. Anytime you stop for water, take a picture, you're completely swarmed. So this wind jacket has been worth its weight in gold because they can't bite through it. Head net's only been necessary a couple times. But we were told this would happen, and it did, so that's the way of the trail. That's where we came from, hiking up here, and then the trail goes this way. So you can see a hiker way up there on the switchback, and then another one way up there, and way up there. So we're going to climb to the top. Well, that was an adventure. I missed a switchback and ended up taking a much rougher snow alternate course across the rocks and straight up the mountain. And then as I got to this section here, there were snow steps going up, but they were vertical. I got about 10 steps in, back down, and went around. So I'm glad that's over, and I guess all we got left is going up there. rocks are just amazing with their lichens and moss on them. Just beautiful. Well, surprisingly, in spite of all the other things that can go wrong, it's 8:30 and we've already covered about 10 miles. We have 7 miles left to get to the road to Kennedy Meadows, so it's looking good. I walked all morning without a break. I feel good. I'm going to keep going because it's good to make the time. I have some food left and I will stop and eat it as soon as I get some water. And I'm going to eat big in Kennedy Meadows, you can guarantee it. Yeah, coming up that alternate path, because I missed the switchback, it was a little dicey for a moment on those snow steps, but I did the smart thing, backed out and went up the scree on the side of the mountain and made it back up to the trail. So as you can see by the last few little video clips, it's been pretty clear sailing since then. We're high up and there has to be a big descent coming up soon. I had to traverse those snowfields there. The second one was pretty steep at the beginning, slow going. And once we finished, we had to scramble up the scree to get back up to the trail. Even be some up there. It's only 5 miles to the highway. Top of Sonora Pass. 4 miles away is the highway and hitchhiking into Kennedy Meadows. Gorgeous. We're still climbing and crossing snowfields. Hopefully, those two hikers are approaching up on the top will be the start of the descent. And after that climb, we get a different view. I guess we gotta go up there. So we say goodbye to the immigrant wilderness, Stanislaus National Forest, and say hello to this big rock and the descent. Very volcanic up here. As you can see, the entire descent has all these snow crossings all the way across it. This is Kennedy Meadows North. We got a nice restaurant, a good store. Office sets you up with a hiker special, staying overnight. Signed up for the 8:30 shuttle in the morning. And on the way to the yurt where I'll be spending the night. Here's my home for the night. We have cots inside, charging station. And there's other PCT hikers camped here, right by the river. Serenity Shuttle has landed, trail mile 1017. I'm here in Kennedy Meadows North. Paid to be in the yurt, but the yurt is really hot and it echoes in there, and there's going to be other people in there, so if anyone's snoring, it's going to be a big snoring echo chamber, and we decided to just pitch my tent outside. Met a hiker named Chompy. He's called that because he got bit by a dog early on the trail. Had a nice conversation about linguistics that was unexpected. Saw 3 dinners and homeless that are camped in the same area, and we sat and chatted at the table, and they made me sign their big Tyvek PCT map where they track how they're doing. Interesting day today. Got up and got on trail by about 5 o'clock and basically did 16 miles without stopping. I don't know what got into me. I was complaining about being tired earlier, but today was an exception. So yeah, it was quite a trip. The Sonora Pass had parts that were beautiful, but they were just rocks, you know, nothing living there but lichens and little tiny plants trying to hold on in crevices. That's the leeward side of the mountains, so they don't get a lot of rain over there. It's pretty dry. Saw some big rock formations that look like we're back in the desert, which we will be soon. We're going to drop down and be in a high desert anyway. Caught a hitch, luckily, down from the parking lot to Kennedy Meadows. It helped that there was a German woman with us, so women weren't as afraid to stop. And they got us down to Kennedy Meadows, and then we feasted on hamburgers, did laundry, took a shower, then went back and feasted on a New York steak and baked potato, and even had apple pie for dessert, and then came back to the tent and had some Pringles and iced tea, and I'm just eating all I can, trying to keep the weight on. Resupplied for the 3-day stretch that should get me to Christy. She wants to pick me up at mile 1076, so should be 2.5 days, because that's about 60 miles. Fantastic day hiking. Saw a lot of beautiful country, especially from up on the passes. And it's good to get a good night's sleep. I'm going to go to bed a reasonable hour in the morning. There will be breakfast at 6 o'clock because the restaurant opens, and I intend on getting the most out of it. And then I'm signed up for the 8:30 shuttle to get back to trail. So we'll get on it and get back to Christy. Well, thanks for hiking with me today, and remember, we're doing the impossible. That makes us mighty.